So I need to put a skim coat on these pieces of patch that I did, but I went outside and got some spackling, and or some people call it mud. I typically use this nylon tape rather than the paper tape. I used the paper tape before, but I don't really care for it. They say it's better. Just takes a little more getting used to, and if you work with it a lot, I'm sure it's probably easy to work with. But and you basically have to put a skim coat on top of it, and then you take the paper and then you embed it into the mud, and then let it dry, and then go over top of it the next day with another skim coat. But the problem I end up running into is I end up getting bubbles in there, air bubbles, and it doesn't adhere well to the mud. And I don't know if it's just that I'm not embedding it well, probably, but I tend to like the nylon tape because it's self-adhesive, and you can just cut just like any tape, and then cut it and then adhere it to the wall itself, and then you can put a skim coat over top of it, and it works just as well. And I find that if you have gaps in some of the patching that I have, like if you can see some of the patches here, there's some gaps in there that it's not perfect, and the nylon mesh does a better job of giving you some kind of a substrate or a backing for the mud to kind of stick to. So it works pretty good. So I've already done this section right here, but I still need to do a section below. I'm going to go ahead and patch that right now, so you can watch as I cut that. It's pretty simple to cut and stick. So you just kind of eyeball it. That's it. That's all it needs. So we'll go ahead and put some mud on now. Just get it a quick coat on there just to kind of build it up, and you can let it dry. This first coat doesn't have to be beautiful, it just needs to get on there. And actually, you don't put a whole lot on this first coat anyway. You just kind of fill the gaps. That way you don't, and you take it just about, as soon as you make a swipe, you just wipe it all off, essentially. You're not leaving a lot on there. And that way you don't have to sand as much, especially when you're doing about 3 or 4 coats of this. You want to do as little sanding as possible because you don't want it build up too much anyway. You want it to be nice and smooth. So you want to not put very little on there, just enough to cover it up. And you take it right back off, and you just keep adding layers to it. So that's really all you gotta do. And now we'll do the top. Alright, so just the same thing, same process as I did with the last one. Put a little bit on, and then you essentially take it right back off. So we're going to fill this area. There's a big hole there, so you got to add a whole bunch in there just to kind fill it in that spot. And it'll dry as it with time, and it'll probably have to be filled again because when it dries it shrinks. But I'm gonna fill it. Just keep adding it on there. As you add it on, you take it off. Now some people will actually take this one first and just put a skim coat all the way across, but you have to have enough mud on there to do that. And typically you end up getting it all over the floor, and I'm just trying to be neat about it. And I'll use the small one for right now, because you're just never going to see any of this stuff anyway, because I'm just putting it on and taking it off. It doesn't really matter if there's any little marks, because it gets covered up later. Works just fine, especially when you're patching. And if you did like big swaths, then yeah, I can understand that, but this works good. Okay, that's all you want to do. This first coat, you just want to be pretty gentle with it. You don't have to do a whole lot. You don't need to build it up too much. You just want to do a light skim coat, and it's ready to go to let dry. So I think this is it for this video. I'll get you updated on other projects as they come up. Okay? Thanks.